The first down throw coming for Dalton. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And the return will stop right around the 25. You think back to all the interceptions he threw last week. Here we go. First play of the game, another pick.
And you know that all week long, they spent time breaking down exactly why he threw the interceptions. Was it mechanics, bad reads, not enough study? Sometimes you just think about it way too much, and that leads you to the next one.
Time to refocus. Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Geis with the carry on second down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Run, run, run! There we go, defense. That's the stop, that's the stop. Yeah, there we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Ran into a brick wall. Hot! Mike 50, Mike 50. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Escaping the pressure right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Gone!
3rd and goal, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at their own 22. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Looking deep downfield. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And he fires one that's intercepted. Tyus Bowser with a pick. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. After the interception, here's Jackson. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll hand it down to Geis. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 3rd down, Jackson. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the 1st. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Since Now ready to take the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Open man is Uzama. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
368!
Andy Dalton. That's complete to John Ross. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
4 down.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Second down, Dalton. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Duke Dawson picks it. The 20. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick 6s.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest. Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their... And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Passing, it's Dalton. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Duke Dawson picks it. Now he opts for the spin. Still going. They can't. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski, okay? Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word. Yeah. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10, right at the 30.
Hey, get ready for something coming up.
They'll start on the ground here with Bernard. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Tyquan Lewis makes the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know. But all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Dalton. And able to find Green. Green's first catch of the game. Good for a 1st down. So we have now seen connection number 1 between Dalton and Adriel Jeremiah, A.J. Green.
Say that again?
Adriel Jeremiah.
Look at you. You are full of knowledge and information. And you know something? I bet Andy Dalton learned his full name as well because he figured out quickly, this is going to be my number 1 target. I got to know this guy in a big way.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. On the screen, Bernard. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
And again, Andy Dalton to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. This is caught inside the 15. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That's good for a gain of 6. 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Another chance for Dalton. That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their third possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. 42 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On first down, this is Geis. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, Jackson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Vontaze Burfict leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Jackson eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The veteran safety, George Iloka, there to break that one up.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got it at the 15. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A gain of 39 that time. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. In for the score. And the Bengals have got it back to a 1-score game. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. And that will get him 1 closer. Bullock out now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now Jackson dumps it off for Geis. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Detroit! Gun!
From the gun, it's Jackson. He'll check it down to Geis.
Whoosh.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 49 yards. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We're back to Baltimore after this.
Gun! Over!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he pulls over it. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Darius Geis with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Hey. 4 down. Go. We're good. Back 55.
Dalton, 1st and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still,
No yardage.
Okay.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
4 down.
Dalton here from the gun. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
These two offenses have gone up and down the field so far in the first half. Finally, I say, here's a stop on 3rd down.
So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Back deep is Philip Dorsett. Taking it about the 16. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10.
We got 4 down. Tighten up.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, wide open, complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He's going to air one out. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 39. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pick.
Accelerating, and off he goes. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big play there just before halftime. 54 yards. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
6 guard. Check 6 guard.
Throwing is Jackson. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. On 2nd down, here's Jackson. Flush to his right. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
3 down.
They go play action here on 1st down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Green. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. Andy Dalton now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10.
You got 3 down. 5-0.
Dalton. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead.
Terrific. Touchdown. I know we've got a game now.
Yeah, I think anytime you go into the second half down just 1 or 2 scores, you feel not where you want to be, but in a pretty good spot.
And I think for most teams, when they go into the half in this situation, it's not a lot of adjusting going on. It's much more, all right, guys, let's just play a little bit better than we did in the first half.
Bullock out now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Ravens taking the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Darius Geis with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Go, on the ball! On the ball! Over here, yes.
Dalton throwing on second down. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Well, after watching him ring the bell that many times and put the ball in the end zone throwing it, you had to figure they had to bring some type of pressure. They had to change things up on defense.
And able to get to him, put him on the ground, so maybe just something to throw him off a little bit.
Yeah, that had to feel a lot better for the defensive guys. They've been getting carved up in this one. To finally knock him on the ground and force an incompletion, that's got to be a sigh of relief.
To throw here, Dalton to Mixon on the check down. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
68!
1st and 10 for Dalton. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, a 22. A first down throw coming for Dalton. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
And was this game announced as a night game prior to it? Maybe his rhythm is just off. He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards on the play. Andy Dalton now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. Dalton operating in the red zone now. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It give it and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on second down. On the give, this is their fullback. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man you can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
On the handoff, it's Geis. And some room to work. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Following the penalty, it's Geis. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. And just a yard on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 4.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
A give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
Leopard! Watch left. Detroit!
Jackson from the shotgun. And he fires one, but incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah. Will they make up for it? And they'll go with a ground attack here. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton going up top. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Josh Jones. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Back to the ground on first. It's Geis. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Play action. It's Jackson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It was Jordan Evans making the play defensively.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Hey, we got
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Here's Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And a nice gain at 21 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Sean Williams that time in on the stop.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
The Ravens on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, Jackson. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Big 4th down here. It's Dalton. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Right back to him on 1st down. He gets away from 1. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Double tight. Even. 4 down. Even.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Baltimore, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, any slim hopes they had at a playoff berth gone now as they drop to 4-9. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals. So for
you